Alright, so imagine you wake up every single day and you know exactly what to do, you know how to do that thing, and you know why is it important for you to make progress on your goals and basically on your life in general. Well, today in day 73 of creating my space learning platform, I've created the system over here that does exactly that. It's not perfect yet, it's the version 1.0, but it's functional and I can use it and I can improve it and I can optimize it. So I'm going to explain everything that I did today and I'm going to explain this system, how I'm applying it in Notion uh, with practical examples. So let's get started. Let's go. Okay, so here we have this system 1.0. It's comprised of like some sections, some processes, but the most important thing is that it allows me to plan my tasks, to plan anything and make sure that it's aligned to my goals, making sure that it's important. Now, the anything database, the anything process, it's basically when I have an idea, but I'm not really sure if it's important. I'm not really sure what that idea is. Like it's not clearly defined. So this would be for that. This would be to turn this vague idea into an actionable step, into something that I can see and I can evaluate if it's actually important for my goals. Now, here I will just explain it briefly. I will give it a definition only for 25 words, like max, because I don't want to make it really long. I want to have it clear in a simple statement. Then I'm gonna specify what is it. Is it a work session? Is it a 1% improvement, a task, a reminder, a project? Well, I will specify it here. Then what area does this align to? In this case, we see that it's a work session breaking down space-wise core features. Now, if I want to break down that, I mean, it's aligned to space-wise. So, is it an active priority? Is this area an active priority? Well, yeah, of course it is. Then, I'm gonna prioritize it. I'm gonna prioritize this based on the Eisenhower matrix. I don't know if this is well written. I'm sorry if it's not, but I'm gonna see if it's urgent and important, not urgent and important, urgent and not important, and if it's not urgent and if it's not important at the same time, then I will just throw it to the bin because why would I do it? And then we have the good to execute checkbox. Now this is important because I will only check this if this is an area that it's an active priority and if it's kind of important. I will only do that if it's actually worth it to do this task to make progress on my goals. Now, how do I know if this area is an active priority? Well, this is a thing that I will do daily or weekly maybe, which is to prioritize my areas, to prioritize what is the most important thing for this week, for example. Now, after I do this, it's done. Here I will know exactly, okay, is this something that I want to do? Is it something that I don't want to do? And I will have it defined. Now we have the daily prioritization and planning. This is something that I'm gonna do every single day when I wake up. The purpose of this is to prioritize the tasks for the day. Here I have prioritized them to know if they actually align to my goals and if they are actually worth it. Here I'm prioritizing it in my day, you know? So what is the most important thing to do today? And scheduling all of that. So here I'm gonna first evaluate my marginal gains, evaluate my goals right now. Like how is my progress going? This is important for me to understand if I need to change some things, like if I'm not making the progress that I'm planning, if I'm not making the progress that I'm intending to do. Here, I will just check for that. And as you see here, big picture features view. So this is a big picture view of the features of my project right now, of a coding project. And here I will have the kind of brief explanation over here, and I will have the time frame. What is the time frame? It's basically from what day to what day I need to work on this feature and when do I have to finish it. As you see, March 15th. This is only an example to show it here. But yeah, it's 15 days. Then on track reflection. Here is when I'm gonna ask myself questions. I haven't defined yet which questions, but it has to do with developing awareness on how my progress is going towards my goals. And not only my goals, like right when I'm speaking about my goals right now, I'm speaking about my performance goals, my checkpoint goals. These are like the milestones, the closest milestones, like from 1 month from now or 14 days from now. After I check my progress and I'm primed, I know if I need to reevaluate or if I need to change some processes or some methods that I'm using to make progress. I'm gonna prioritize and schedule today's tasks. Here is when I'm gonna just say, okay, I want to do this tomorrow or today. I mean, I'm gonna do this in the morning before I actually start working. So let's say I do it here, and I'm gonna do this from 5 or like 4:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. Let's say I'm gonna work on this task or on this thing for this amount of time, and I'm gonna schedule it. Then I'm gonna see which tasks are the most important ones, which are the most urgent ones. And now that I see it, it's probably important to have the Eisenhower matrix here. So let's say this is urgent and important, and this is not urgent and important. Well, I will first do this. Next, we have the sessions and the iterative execution process. This process, it's important because I'm going to plan out my sessions in depth. Not only plan them out, I'm gonna go really detailed, really deep, and I'm gonna make sure, here's where I make sure that I'm not wasting time and I'm not being slow and unproductive. Here's where I maximize my productivity and I create that sense of urgency to achieve a task. And that increases my productivity like crazy. I've been trying that out today and yesterday, and I've been getting things done in an hour that I couldn't do in a day. And it's actually really that serious. So the first thing that I do, let me just open up this because it's gonna get a bit messy. You might say this is already messy, but I mean, the steps that I have to follow in Notion, it's a bit messier because I have to go from here, maybe to here, maybe to here again. So let's go to the actual process here. So the first thing I will do is create this session. Okay, I have created the session here. And as you see, it's the same thing as on the anything database. You know why? Because here I put that it's a session and automatically I have it filtered over here that these are sessions, and it's gonna appear over here what I've done on the anything database. That's really like cool. I like that because it's all interconnected. Now here we have all of the things, and then we're gonna define the outcome. What is the outcome of this work session? Well, here I have defined it, and I just said that like I need to go through the system, and I need to have my features completely defined and sequenced and ready for execution. I need to do this like really specific, and it has to be an outcome. It has to be really specific, so I know with clarity what am I trying to achieve, what is the actual objective, what is the intention, what is the goal. Then here is when I'm actually gonna schedule it really seriously. Alright, so I was getting a bit confused about this because I thought that I had scheduled this and I actually didn't. Either way, right here I'm gonna put exactly how much time am I gonna give myself to achieve this outcome. And yeah, let's say I give myself like 30 minutes to achieve this. 1 p.m. I guess. 30 minutes to achieve this. Alright, so what do we do next? Well, here we have, okay, define outcome, but here I'm going to start the iterative execution process. I'm gonna basically just execute on the task. Now, if I only have the outcome and the date, I mean, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna get to the outcome. Like, I know that I have 30 minutes to do this, and I know the end point, but I don't know how I'm gonna just, you know, make progress towards that. So here is where this comes, this process. I'm gonna define the 1% task that I can think of, any like the smallest thing I can think of to start making progress towards this outcome. Now, I'm gonna create this. So, okay, the first, the smallest thing I can think of is just start creating the list of features, right? So I need to prioritize them. I need to have my core features. So I'm just gonna create my list of normal features, any features. And then I'm gonna give myself a time limit, 5 minutes. And now, as you see here, I've set a really like small time limit, but here I'm counting that I need to push myself. I need to like make it small so I feel the urgency to actually do it. And it's not enough because I've made a mistake. It's not enough to just write it down, just put it down that I'm gonna do it in 5 minutes. I need to actually set the intention. I need to set my mindset to actually just say I need to do this in 5 minutes. If I don't, I move on. And that is the actual thing that gives the urgency, I think. So 5 minutes, all right. Then what do? We execute. So I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to achieve this marginal gain in 5 minutes. Let's do it. Boom. Okay, we do it. Then we reflect. We do this mini reflection, which is how I achieved my mini outcome, how I achieved my marginal gain, my 1% task. Well, if I have, I need to understand what caused that. I mean, if I did achieve it, then maybe there was something good that I did that I can learn from and apply on the next attempts. Or if I didn't do it right, if I didn't achieve it, why didn't I achieve it? Was it because it was too little time? Was it because I was actually afraid of doing this fast because of some reason? Was it because I don't know? I'm here. Here I'm gonna try to understand the cause of why it went right or why it went wrong, so I can improve my time management and my task management and be more productive. Then, then I'm gonna say what actions am I gonna take to improve on what I've reflected. And then I'm gonna try to evaluate the patterns of the previous reflections. So if I have reflected over here and I said that, well, I find it really difficult to experiment and I find it really difficult to make mistakes and learn from them because I'm afraid of that. So if I identified that on my mini reflection, like many times, many times, then I'm gonna try to identify what are the patterns there. And actually, even some other things that are not that clear, it's good to identify them and to find similarities between these reflections to actually be more aware of what's holding me back and give more attention to that problem so I can fix it. After I reflect, I'm gonna just repeat the process again. So as you see, I'm gonna reflect over here, I reflect, okay. Now here I'm gonna create the second marginal gain. So when I create the first one, I don't instantly create the second one. That's the main thing. Because if I create the first one, the second one, and the third one, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe some things might change. I might get a new perspective on what would be my next task, my next 1% task that will help me go in the direction of achieving this. And I'm gonna repeat this process until the time ends. I think this is my current process to be really productive and to create urgency and to make a lot of progress. It's really clear the time that I have to do this. It's really clear the outcome that I want to achieve and the direction that I'm going. Then if I have some barriers, then I can reflect over them over here after I finish the experiment, we could say, or the action. So yeah, I mean, I've taken a while to explain this, but I'm really passionate about this because I've learned to destroy my barriers and to find my mistakes and to improve. And I've made a lot of progress on my task management and my productivity over the past few days because of this. All right, so then we have the medium-term goals process. What is this? It's basically where I create a goal and I try to understand exactly what is it going to take to achieve that goal. What is the ideal person that can achieve that goal easily, and what are the steps that I need to take to make it inevitable for me to achieve this goal. Well, let's get started. So here we have the process, the medium-term goals process. I just basically do this first. I mean, I've done all of this first on the free flow thing, and then I've applied it into Notion because I think it's much easier like this, and I can modify this much quicker and much easily than if I were to just try to do it here in Notion instantly. And I've made that mistake. I've tried to make this system like 3 times in Notion, but I just couldn't. So I created it here first. Now, the area definition, or actually first redefine the goal. Let me just go here. So here I give it a brief name, and here I give it a definition. I give it like, what is the outcome that I want to achieve? What is the outcome of this goal? And then I do this. Don't look at this yet. Next, we create the areas. Okay, so here I have many things. These are just examples, by the way, to explain what I want to explain. I haven't actually done this yet, but okay, let's go. So here are the areas that I need to do. I need to define what are the skills and processes that I'm gonna need to work on to achieve my goal. What are the attributes that I need to achieve that goal, and what are the beliefs or the mindsets that I need to have so that this goal is much more attainable and I can actually do it. Now, after I think about this and I define it clearly, I'm gonna give a score from 1 to 10 for my ideal avatar. My ideal avatar is the person that can easily achieve my goal. This is the person that, like, if this person doesn't achieve it, no one else can. So yeah, I will give a score from 1 to 10 on all of these processes. So as you see here, I created like grit, and I identified the type over here. What is it? A behavior, attribute? Is it a skill or a process? Or is it a belief or mindset? Now there's a very interesting relationship here, which is that beliefs and mindsets create attributes and behaviors and attributes create skills and processes. So if I can't get myself to have a certain behavior or improve a certain attribute, it's probably because I have a belief or a mindset that's not letting me, and that's an important thing to know and to be aware of. So I can actually just first start with the mindsets, and then I can go, and that can lead into then the behaviors and attributes and the skills and processes. But I don't think the order matters that much. I might be wrong, but I don't know. But then I'm gonna do the scoring, which is here, avatar scoring. I'm gonna define, is it for the ideal person or the current person? Oh yeah, I haven't explained that yet. We're also gonna do it for the current person, for me, my current avatar. I'm gonna give myself a score out of like 1 out of 10, 1 to 10 in each one of these. And this is important because then I can compare where I am right now and where I want to be. But I'm not just gonna give it a score and call it a day. I'm gonna define it and justify it. So what is a 7? Like, what does a 7 mean exactly? Here I define it. So here, for example, I'm consistently able to push through difficulties and don't give up even when things get really hard and painful and I just want to stop. So this would be a 7 for me. For the ideal person, like, to achieve my goal, I would need to have a 7. The ideal person would need to have a 7. Then Now I define what do I think I have and why. Here's the important part. Why do I think I have it, and justify it. Then I've created this so it appears automatically over here. As you see, it's some code that it's not really hard. And here we have the ideal person 7 out of 10, correct person 6 out of 10. And I have it here in a simpler view. Then I might find like many skills and attributes, many processes, many beliefs and mindsets, but I can't work on everything at once. I need to prioritize them. How do I prioritize it? I mean, I would prioritize based on constraints. I would prioritize based on what's holding me back the most. And how do I know that? Well, I can actually compare it. Now, if you see here on grid, I'm probably all right compared to C++, which is a programming language. Like, the ideal person needs to have a 9, and I have a 3 right now. So I need to be working on this ASAP. Like, if we compare it, this with this, I need to work on the C++ because it's probably the biggest thing that's constraining me right now, that's holding me back. Then what do? It's actually not over here. I haven't actually integrated it on the on this place yet. But right now, what I'm gonna do, is create performance goals. What are these performance goals? Well, these are goals that I create for each like process or each area, and I basically just define how is this area gonna look like after 30 days and after 14 days. I'm gonna define it really well. And after I define it, I'm gonna create marginal gains. I'm gonna think of the smallest thing that I can do to push myself in that direction and make progress on this direction. And these are like checkpoint goals or milestones for the main goal, which is the space-wise MVP. And that is how I'm going to be able to know where I need to go, the direction, which is the marginal gains, the 1% tasks. I'm gonna know if I'm going in the right direction, like, because these are checkpoints. If I'm on the 14th day and I'm not here, then something must be wrong. Something is not according to plan. So I need to be aware of that, and then I can take action accordingly. Then I also know exactly what do I need to work on, because I have it here. I have the behaviors, the attributes, the skills, and processes, the beliefs and the mindsets that I need to work on, and I have here defined the goal and how much time is it going to take, or I plan it to take. Next, here we have the code project breakdown system. This is a system that is important for me to break down most like programming projects, which is, yeah. And let's go to the first step. So the first step would be to define the project. Now, as you see here, there's many like things that are very similar on this system, but they are not grouped together. They're not like on the same place, and those are like inefficiencies that I haven't fixed yet. But I'm gonna be optimizing that. I'm gonna be learning more about this system and how I'm gonna be able to make it better, make it more optimized, more clean, more clear. Yeah. So I'm gonna define the project. Then I'm gonna list the main features of the coding project. Then I'm gonna prioritize it using the Moscow method, we could say, which is must-haves, should-haves, could-haves, or won't-haves. And if we go over here, we define the project, and here these are just views that I have put here, so that I automatically see the core features and the descriptions of the core features. But where I actually insert the core features or the features is here. Here I put a list of the features, and here's where I give a brief explanation of each feature and I prioritize it. Is it a must-have? Is it a should-have, a could-have, or a won't-have? If it's a must-have, then it's a core feature, or that's how I see it. Then I will also create done criteria. this is specifying what completed means. Like, what does done mean? So I know when I have completed the task. And then I will create mini milestones for each feature, if it's big enough. For example, if we go to the onboarding system, I'm going to but before I create the mini milestones, I just realized that I first need to create the time frame. From what day to what day am I going to work on this feature? And I've kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but when is the start? When do I start working on this? And when do I have to finish? When do I have to get this done? You know? Well, I'm gonna create mini milestones for this feature if it's big enough. As I said, I'm gonna specify it here. It's kind of like the performance goals, but I've separated here into this coding thing. Now, in this example, I'm gonna create a first strong hypothesis of the system, of the quizzing system. And as you see here, we have the specification. And then I'm gonna specify in what stage of the time frame. So as you see, we have from 1 to 15th, from 1st to 15th, but in what stage is this milestone gonna have to be achieved? This is all like a checkpoint goal, as I said. So instead of 14 days and 15 days, here I specified more clearly. So I have to finish this, I have to achieve this outcome by the 5th, and I have to achieve this by the 11th. If I don't, then I'm gonna be aware of it, and I'm going to have to change my methods and try to find a way to make more progress, or maybe replan my features and reprioritize. Now, I've been recording this for like an hour because I've been trying to explain this the best that I can. I think I haven't, but it is what it is. I've tried very hard, so that's what I'm happy about. Yep, that's basically it. Let's get started with the clips or the videos that I've been recording along today's day. And I'm just showing what are my problems, what I've been doing, what I've been eating, how I've been planning and stuff, and the time lapses of me actually working. So yeah, let's get started. Let's go. Good morning. So I just woke up and I planned a task. I'm gonna create the system again from scratch because I lost the file, unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows. But yeah, I just set the intention here. What do I want to achieve at the end of this work session? And then I planned here, what am I gonna do? What's my 1% task that I can do to go in the direction of achieving this intention or this objective? Then I set an experiment, how am I gonna do it exactly? And then I just basically planned this out, and this is the reflection which I'm gonna do after these 20 minutes. And then after these 20 minutes, I'm gonna repeat this process again. What's my next 1% task that will help me go in this direction and achieve this goal, this objective, and then create another experiment. That's basically it. So yeah, today I slept pretty well, like my good 6 hours and 40 minutes, which is a massive improvement because, as you see over here, like 4 hours, 5 hours. Okay, this was better, but 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay, this was better. You know, I've been sleeping not much, but today I got my 7 hours in bed, which is much better. Anyways, let's get this done, and yeah, I guess I've already explained everything. I'm counting on me right here, like recording the explanation actually right here. Okay, so the work block is done, and right now I'm gonna go take a cold shower. I'm gonna cook lunch and dinner, and then I'm gonna go to school, as I said. So yeah, I've done a bit of good reflection about my time management and task management. I've tried to create the system. Let me show you how it is right now. As you see, it's really messy, but it's taking form. The problem that I have right now is that my way of doing this system and building this system is not very time efficient. I could be much more efficient and much more productive, and that's why I'm gonna reflect over how can I improve, because I've tasted being really productive and doing a lot. I've tasted that today, and but I have also tasted not being productive and staying on the same thing without making much progress for like an hour. And that's where I'm gonna reflect, and I'm gonna try to find the difference between when I'm super productive and when I'm on the same thing, very slow, very stuck for a long time. Yeah, let's go. I will reflect, I don't know when, maybe at school, maybe later, who knows. Let's go.
So here we have the meal. We have some cheese, which is I usually don't have, but today I do. Here we have the main meal, which is chicken breast cooked with onions, tomatoes, and only olive oil today. I usually do it with butter as well, but no butter. No butter because I did not have it. I have to buy it. And we have some peanuts over here. So let's get this done, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. I am back from the gym. I got a haircut as well, as you see. Feeling really nice, and right now it's like 5:20 p.m. and I'm gonna work a little bit, and then I'm gonna record the start of this video, and dinner, meditation, editing, uploading, sleeping. Let's go.
Alright, so I have just recorded that thing and it's really late. It took too long, but I'm gonna meditate for 10 minutes now, and then I'm gonna have dinner, and I'm gonna just end the video, edit, and go to sleep. And yep, that's it. Let's go.
Here we've got the meal. We have the salad for the flavor, we got the sardines for the omega-3, the eggs for like everything, and some peanuts for the calories, and some salt. So let's get this done. And after this, I'm gonna go to sleep, and yeah, I'm gonna edit the video and upload. Let's go. Bye bye. See you on the next video. See you tomorrow.